at a national level on one hand, on other hand at a regional and level as well. So many state governments are also now looking at a cybersecurity policy. And not only that, we know that some of the regulators like RBI had been taking cybersecurity on its agenda. And because of that, our financial sector had been really leading in terms of security implementation and also creating good market for the services and product. So what we are basically doing as a Data Security Council of India National Center of Excellence, which had been a joint initiative of DSCI and Ministry of Electronics and IT, is to create an ecosystem. And we work on a 4 key tower as a part of National COE. So one is we look at the technology development as one of the important mandate for us, and we look at the R&D, research and development in cybersecurity space, and we had been seeing a lot of those kind of effort that's being put in the country at a academia level, research institutions level, basically. So, so one is the focus on research and R&D. Other is important part. We try to see the research and R&D which has been done in the country can be translated into some kind of commercial product. So we also invest our effort in terms of engaging with the industry, with a potential startup to translate those research into consumable product. We have also incubation facility at Noida, and we are also incubating companies virtually. And this incubation is support for startup is that one is early stage startup, mostly the incubation side, and we being a national effort, basically we are also trying to see that whether how can we support the other incubators and other accelerators which are taking cybersecurity on their agenda. Market development is another important thing that we undertake as a part of National COE's mandate, and engaging with the buyer community, user company, and creating the market possibility for the cybersecurity products and services. And the last one is the investment ecosystem. So that's what this Security Investor Conference has been devised for. We would like all of you to join us in the journey of creating the startup ecosystem in the country, or innovation ecosystem for cybersecurity in this country. So with this all remark, I would like to conclude and welcome you all. So we would go for the next session shortly, and post that probably we would have to conclude today's day. Thank you, Vikas, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vinayak, for sharing those insights with us. Now, for our next keynote address, we have with us Ms. Kimberly Chow, and the topic of the keynote is Accelerating Cloud Security Innovation, AWS Experience. Ms. Chow is a Senior Security Architect from AWS. Ms. Kimberly Chow, may I please invite you to the stage?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, Vikas. Give me a second while I share my screen. Apologies for the technological problems here. I'll share my screen and let me know once you can see my screen. Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody, and thank you for tuning into this talk on accelerating cloud security innovation, the AWS experience. My name is Kimberly Chow, and I'm a specialist security architect with Amazon Web Services. Today's talk will run through some of the key opportunities that I see cybersecurity startups face and the unique opportunities that cybersecurity startups have when it comes to our current technological environment. Startups hold a very special place in AWS. If you jump on our AWS Azan startups page, you will see a lot of resources aimed at empowering startups to accelerate and grow on AWS. We provide learning on demand for startups and how-to videos, events and webinars, key features and stories and use cases that can help other startups grow, as well as our AWS Activate program, which provides startups with a host of benefits, including $100,000 in AWS Activate credits. In my role as a cybersecurity architect, I work with some of the most successful cybersecurity startups around the ASEAN region, as well as companies that are eager to grow and consume their services. However, one thing that I have noted while working with these startups around the region is that they all face common issues where security, regulations, and provable compliance seemingly gets in the way of innovation. In fact, a 2019 study by Deloitte notes that CIOs say that 80% of developer time is spent on the operations and maintenance of applications, and only 20% of that time is actually spent on innovation. In a fast-moving industry like cybersecurity, where adversaries are getting increasingly more advanced and new threat actors, profiles, and vectors are continuously growing, this percentage puts us in the cybersecurity industry on a significant back foot. This being said, the ASEAN Security Startup team decided to pose a question to all of our startups. What are the challenges that you face, and what do you need in order to invert this percentage where most of your time is then spent on innovation instead? What we found was that these were common challenges that can be summarized into these 5 main points. Firstly, hiring. Cloud talent, especially cloud security talent, is hard to come by and quickly disappears. As cybersecurity startups face some strong competition in the talent pool by some large unicorn companies, we see a mass migration of some of our smartest and brightest cybersecurity startup brains to these large companies. Secondly, ramp up. Even when you've found the right talent, it still requires significant training and ramp up time to make them familiar, effective, operational, and ready then to deep dive into innovating and iterating on a security product. Security. Security is difficult, especially for cybersecurity startups who need to ensure that their tools and products are safe from attacks. There is nothing worse for a cybersecurity startup than a reputational fallout from a significant breach, such as those sustained by SolarWinds as well as FireEye. Compliance standards are also another drain on time. Startups can be held by the same regulatory controls as other businesses. Thus, the time taken to achieve security and compliance significantly pulls developers away from innovation. Expertise. There's always a lack of expertise to maintain a highly secure as well as cost-optimized environment. And last but not least, priorities. Priorities and goalposts constantly change. A new threat actor or a new threat vector could significantly change priorities in the way cybersecurity startups build to help their customers stay secure. So what do startups need? Overwhelmingly, innovation. Startups call upon their leadership to define initiatives with high business impact and growth so that they can innovate towards these goals. Security. To reduce the amount of effort required to secure our environments, our startups have increasingly called for secure and compliant architecture and environments that enable builders to start developing and building without the heavy lifting, both operational and regulatory requirements, especially if they're processing confidential data. This is especially beneficial in helping startups attain compliance requirements such as HIPAA, SOC, ISO that can help startups earn the trust of large global companies. Reducing costs. This is simple. Keeping infrastructure costs low leads to more resources to spend on innovation. Support. As startups continue to grow and scale, it becomes clear that running operations is not a one-time effort. A dedicated, high-touch support environment is critical for startups as they continue to grow. Lastly, no lock-in. Startups want to continue using security services without going into long-term contracts to help them be agile and be able to pivot at a month's notice. Our cybersecurity startups face extremely unique opportunities in our technological environment of today. This is what I've learned from working with some of the most effective startups in terms of the security structure within the region. Firstly, the unique opportunity on focusing on automation. In the security sphere, we want to be able to make the lives of our customers easier. We want customers to be able to deploy lightweight, low-touch, but secure solutions that enable them to scale. This is where automation comes into play. The less a customer needs to do in terms of configuring services and trying to work out how to make our solution work, the better. Building collaboration. We now live in an information age where collaboration amongst partners and industry players such as AWS can only make us stronger. These days, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, but instead focus on making each iteration better by using the knowledge gained from past experiences. Capitalizing on CISO relationships. It was noted by Yaron Levi, CISO at Blue Cross, that security leaders are often under a lot of pressure to show quick wins while knowing full well that everything they do is heavily scrutinized and challenged, and ultimately, they will pay the price for things that are not under your control. As a security startup, look at making your customers' security leaders not only solve their security problems, but prove their effectiveness through data. The more you can demonstrate that your product or tools help your customers' security CISOs and leaders be effective, the more likely it is to increase the adoption and usefulness of a security tool or service. And lastly, emphasizing a culture of security. It is never more important to ensure that everybody within your organization views security as job zero. You are only as strong as your weakest link. Look to build transparency, awareness, and knowledge throughout your organization to ensure that your foundations remain strong as you continue to build your security product or service. So from an AWS perspective, what did we do with all that we found out from working with startups and understanding their challenges and needs? In true Amazonian fashion, we took what we learned and built something to address these issues. We built AWS Managed Services, or AMS for short. The idea of AMS is to create infrastructure that's easy for startups or security startups to use our compliant and secure architectures to then build and develop their security products and solutions. AMS comes out of the box with prescriptive guided architectures with a defined business outcome of compliant, secure, and scalable. The architecture comes with PCI DSS in place, and we have 4 flavors of ISO: ISO 9001, ISO 27001, ISO 27017, and ISO 27018. We do a lot of the foundational heavy lifting and then layer on those robust operational frameworks on top of that. So any customers who are looking to build their startup solutions on us can have a secure and scalable starting point to begin to bring their workloads on board. We're also fueled by automation. Everything we've done with the service to date has been focused on moving the important but undifferentiated tasks away from human hands to automation. This way, cloud experts can focus on the higher level tasks that matter to the business. Speaking of our cloud experts, we give our customers access to the same cloud experts that we use to build our services directly and indirectly when they are using the AWS AMS service. This allows clients to reach into the AMS organization and use AMS as an example of what good looks like as they start to build those centers of cloud competency in-house. We also offer ongoing cost optimization. We continuously and consistently work with the customer to identify ways to optimize their environment and operating model to ensure customer investments are fine-tuned to what they actually need to consume. No vendor lock-in and no contracts month to month was also another thing that we made sure were in place for AMS to help our cybersecurity startups grow. This mirrors what AWS has done with our compute model. We want customers to have the same flexibility within their managed environments as they do with our AWS utility compute model. So where can a partnership with cybersecurity startups work with AWS? Firstly, AMS automates those infrastructure provisioning and operation for our customers. We take care of your foundation so that you can build your strong, secure cybersecurity solutions on top of ours and then deliver downstream to your customers. We also look to rely and collaborate with our customers as well as cybersecurity partners to build application security and DevSecOps into our customer pipelines. Customers don't have to worry then about building from the ground up. They can take what we've already figured out and built for them. From this product model, our customers have actually experienced a 30% cost optimization from resource cost avoidance and 25% ongoing operational and infrastructure savings. We empower our startups' tech teams. As we go through this process of onboarding and continual operations and improvement, we can help our startups build the muscle around making subtle changes to architecture and construction of their infrastructure stacks to support workloads that drive real value into the business. We help startups accelerate those sales conversations, shorten those sales cycles with security and compliance in check, helping them earn trust from their customers. At the same time, accelerate the maturity of that tech stack, which may positively impact conversations with VCs, investors, especially when you're raising your next round of funding. One of our customer success models is Caro, Singapore's largest marketplace for pre-owned cars in Southeast Asia. Since onboarding to AWS, they have increased their internal SLAs for their website, reduced their spend by 50%, and accelerated their compliance journey to meeting PCI DSS compliance. As you can see, AWS works backwards from a customer challenge or need to solve significant business problems to accelerate that innovation. If you would like to learn more about AWS or AWS Managed Services and how you can actually accelerate your cybersecurity startup innovation journey, please tune into our talk at the AWS Summit, as well as the AWS Startup Central. We actually look forward to working and building with you to keep your customers secure. Please feel free to leverage upon our AWS services to enable you to continue to build those innovation and strong security products in order to help our customers remain secure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kimberly Chow, for that exciting AWS perspective on working with security startup and giving us those insights on cloud security. And I thank everyone who has joined us today for the Security Investors Conference 2021. It has been an exciting 2 days. We've seen, even in these 2 short days, we've seen a plethora of speakers coming in and sharing their experience, and a lot of audience has been engaging with us as well. And we are really thankful to everyone, our mentors, our stakeholders, all our contributors who've helped us in shaping up this conference, and of course, our audience and speakers who've joined us. Thank you everyone for being with us today, and see you soon. Thank you.